All praises to Yahweh, Ba'asham Yahweh Shai. All praises to Yahweh, Ba'asham Yahweh Shai, Ba'asham Rakah Kwadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of the great millstone, and shalom to the elected of the nation of Israel. And before I even get into the video, I'm going to cut out all the confusion. That thing on the left is a man, right? I ain't here to make no video deceiving no brothers and make them look at anything and think, oh, that's a woman and that. That thing on the left in the cream jacket and that short skirt is a man. Yeah, it's a man, bruv. Right? And what this is a video of is of a guy dressing up as a woman, putting makeup on to look like a woman, putting weird looking things that look like implants on them but on their body, in some like weird disguise costume to look like a woman. I'm walking down the street, right, to expose and see, to expose and see how they will get treated and see what happened to them on the streets, man. And what it did expose, I'll be fair, which this is disgusting to do, by the way, and it's going off for a man to dress up like a woman. They could have did the same video and used a real woman and had like a team of people around, right? To a team of people around to, oh man, this is disgusting. As I'm thinking about this shit, it's actually gross. Like they could have had a team of people around to just protect the real woman if they really wanted to try and do an experiment like this, right? But what this thing exposes is that a lot of men need the Holy Spirit, man, right? A lot of men need the Holy Spirit because a lot of men were deceived into thinking that this was actually a woman. And this particular Jake here, he was all up on this, man, to the point where the man had to push him away. And if you watch the video, this is the name of the video. If you watch the video, you see that the guy ended up having to push this Jake off him because the guy was moving mad, bro. Like, it's actually disgusting when you think about it, man. And that's what can happen, man, for being like a overly, like, just on women too much, man, in this world. Just being overly on women all the time, man. You can end up getting yourself into a snare. And this guy was touching this woman. I mean, see, now I'm going off. This guy was touching this man, right? Touching him too close to the point where it was disgusting, man. And I didn't watch all the video. I just scanned through certain parts. But a lot of men were deceived. One person, and again another Jake, I believe it was back getting down on the floor, kissing this man's feet because he thought it was a woman. And that's why that simping spirit, man, is a heavy snare, man, and can cause you to do and to fall into a lot of madness in this world, bro. And that reminds me of this situation that happened when I was at this job that I used to work at before, man, where like there was one Jake, right? And I worked in one place in the building before, and I got told by this one Jake, he was like, you know what, bro? I'm almost certain that in this building, there's a lot of T-Rans in this building, man. Because there's certain women that I've seen and that their jawbone don't look right, their face don't look right, man. Their chin's too wide and that. And I believed him straight away when he said it, but I was just like, but I haven't seen none of them. And then we spoke to one Elam cat on the job, and he asked him and said, yeah, he said, watch, go and tell him that there's some people out there working this place that are like that, innit? And this wasn't no new news to me that this could happen because in other places where I've worked before, I've seen this, right? But they were more blatantly, obviously it would be some weird Edomite with stubble on his face and lip gloss on, just with a weird pop. Like these people are freaks in this days in this age, man. In this day and age, people are weirdos, bro. And they'll be made to be treated like they're fully functioning adults and given positions of power into a certain degree in certain jobs, man. Right? It's mad, bro. Right? And anyway, like then I ended up being around, like ended up working with this guy, and then was working with this guy in the building, and another part in the building, right? And then I ended up seeing him leaving work one day with some like person with super long blonde hair, and then as I saw the person's face, I was like, ugh, man, that's a man, fam. I was just looked at him and was like, yo, that's a man. That person's face looks weird. So then as time goes by, I'm working in this place anyway. I got moved to a next part in the same company, right? And then as I'm working in this part now, I see that thing there, right? I see that thing there. And then one Jake saying to me, oh, what do you think, man? Do you think that she's fit? And I'm thinking, I just looked at him and was like, you know that's a man, right? I said, you know that's a man, right? I looked at him, dead in his eye. I was like, you know that's a man, right? And he's like, nah, that's not a man. He was like, nah, that's not a man. She twerked for me one time. I was thinking, what? And this ain't no story that I'm making up, bruv. This happened, fam. This is a story that I'm just telling people because a lot of Jakes need the spirit, man. We're lucky that we've got a spirit on us that makes us even know that this can be a possibility, man. But when I was watching this video, a lot of people do not have the spirit to know that, like, you gotta watch out for certain situations in this world, man. Like, even if women are just on, a woman's just on you too much in this world, a real woman I'm on about, well, there's a reason why. A lot of the time, it might be because she's a demon sent straight from Satan to try and cast you down, man. Because it's not normal, unless you're a certain class of man, for women to be all upon you anyway. It's not normal. Now, if you want to think you're smooth out here, you're Absalom, that's up to you if you want to think that, right? But in this video, like, this was entrapment, and it was like these guys was caught out, and now they almost was on some LGBT stuff. A lot of these people, man. And one person bowed down his feet and was kissing this man's feet, man. But anyway, back to the story of that place that I worked at that time, man. Right? Which was a real demonic. I've never been in a place like that before. Since them people are demons, man. But anyway, like, and that whole place had a weird spirit on them. But anyway, right? The Jake, after I said to him, like, I just said to him, I said, look where, like, I was trying my best to convince him that it was a man, and I said, just look at how big his hands are. I was like, his hands are bigger than yours, or about the same size. And then he looked at the hands and was like, raw, the hands are kind of big, you know. And I was like, yeah. And just watch and see how big he looks when he stands next to another real woman. And then he watched and saw when that thing was standing next to a real woman. And I was like, you see how he dwarfs them? You see how he looks just way more bigger than them? And then he was like, man. And then I told him, you know what? Go ask this other Jake. Right? Go ask this other Jake when you see him next time, man. If he knows about people that are that work in here, and go ask him what the one that he was sure of looks like. Go ask him. And then he asked him. Because I found out that he knew that guy, and I said, yo, go ask him. And he asked him, and then he never spoke to that thing ever again, man. You understand? And he was pissed off, but I was glad that I was able to stop a Jake from falling into a snare, man. Because the thing, yo, that shit was mad, bruv. I couldn't believe when he told me that thing twerked for him. And it used to always say hello to him. You know what I mean? I was thinking, bro, how are you that fooled by this? How are you that fooled by that? But then that was one of them Jakes that will be on a workplace, and a lot of the women will be liking him, and that he'll be, you know what I mean? And he's trying to, like, he'll be kind of not trying to be an adulterer, but at the same time trying to be an adulterer. It was one of those Jakes, you know what I mean? That they'll be an adulterer under the right circumstances, man. And that adulterous spirit, right? That covetous spirit can lead to all of this, man, because this Jake in the Hawaiian shirt, man, when he was rolling up on this, what he thought was a woman, he never asked, have you got a husband? Have you got a boyfriend and all that stuff? He just run up, pushing it all upon walls, trying to get all close and get all in close and that, right? But that would be adultery if that person if it was a real woman and it had a husband. But this Jake didn't give a damn about none of that, man. You know what I mean? He didn't give a damn. And that's what that demon spirit can lead to, man. Like how the situation I was telling you at that place that I worked, man. This happened. This happened, man. And let's say now this is a situation where this man was dressing up like a woman to try and actually be with men not to try and do an experiment, which you shouldn't be doing this, by the way. I've just got to let that be clear. You shouldn't be dressing up like no woman to try and expose this and expose that, because you're exposing yourself, that you like dressing up as a woman. That's what you're also exposing. But let's say that this thing was dressing up like this to try and get men to actually be with it, and you ain't got the spirit on you, and you end up doing one or too many things with something like this. Yeah. Now, how are you gonna feel for the rest of your life? How are you gonna feel, or what might you do when it's exposed what's actually happened? Because you hear about stories about that where people was deceived into this and into that, and then now they take matters into their own hands, man. You see what I mean? So this video showed me that Jake needs the spirit, man. We all need the spirit out here, because there's things going on in this world that are demonic as hell, man. There's a lot of demonic activity going on in this world, right? And a lot of men are deceived by stuff like this. So many men in this video was deceived, like, into really believing that it was a woman. You know what I mean? And when you even this covers many things, man, because when you actually even consider how women so love makeup, that's off, because makeup is even is turning women's faces into a way that's I'm on about real women now. Makeup can turn women's faces into a way that's so different than what their actual face looks like. It don't even look like them. So how much more, right? When you end up having a world like that where women are learning how to do their makeup by men, right? By GAY men, right? That really want to teach women how to do their makeup in a way that kind of, in certain situations anyway, does look like they are not even a woman, with how some women do their makeup these days, right? I don't know if brothers have noticed that, but the way how some women do their makeup these days actually doesn't look very feminine. And they actually have all these techniques and these different ways that they place the flipping makeup around their cheeks and all that to try and change and alter the shape of their face. That's deliberate. That's been deliberately done with the idea of men being able to use the same technique to try and look like women, which is why a lot of men in this video was deceived, right? And they were all close up in this thing's face, and they still didn't know until he changed and talked in a deep voice. Some of them didn't know. You know what I mean? Like, it's actually gross, bro. It's actually disgusting, man. And that's, this whole society is a whole bunch of tricks and stuff like that, man. There's a whole bunch of tricks. You have to be safe out here, man. Because a person that's like too much on, man, there's a lot, man. There's a lot, bro. There's a lot. There's a lot that's going on down here on this earth, man. There's a lot. And I watched a bit of the video, and I was just like, raw, these men are acting like some simps, man. Like the guy that was getting down his feet, kissing feet and all this kind of shit. This guy in a Hawaiian shirt that was all too close. You know what I mean? The man pretending to be a woman said, "I'm not interested." He's still there. All up, like, I'm just like, raw, bro. You're moving mad, fam. You know what I mean? Like, you're moving mad, bro, out here. Because he had an adultery kind of spirit on him, where, man, you know what I mean? But in the kingdom of heaven, these kind of things will not run. These kind of things will not be, man. And I'm gonna end the video there, man. I just wanted to do a quick video on this because I saw this and I was just thinking, man, this is actually insane. And again, the thing on the left is a man. And if you saw its face, you'd be even more convinced, not just by how big his shoulders are, you'd be even more convinced that it's clearly a man. But a lot of these men in the video were deceived, man. And on that, I'm going to say shalom to the elect to the nation of Israel, shalom.